Greetings, everyone. Thank you once again for tuning in today to another 5 minutes or so with Brother Curtis. And we will continue our devotions today with the book of Joshua. We were in Joshua chapter 2 yesterday. We will be back there again today. And, in verse number 1, we see that Joshua sent out 2 spies, secretly, of course, to the land of Jericho to get a report on the land. And I believe there's a little bit of comparison with the 12 spies that were sent out, and then also some contrast with the 12 spies that were sent out compared to these 2 spies that were sent out. As we remember, the 12 spies were sent out by Moses because of their desire. The children of Israel wanted to see, is the land of Canaan what the Lord said it was going to be before we go over. And so they sent spies out to view the land, view the people, and see the fruits of the land, if it's what was said it was going to be about it. And where these 2 spies, they also were sent out to the land of Jericho, but for a different purpose. They was going out to view the land because that was going to be the place where they was going to go into push to take over that land. That was part of it. And so they would have to go and maybe gain a strategy from what they would see as they go into the land. Now, I believe one thing we can learn from this as well is, the Lord gives us promises, and we know there's going to be battles, and we need to be prepared for those battles. That's why the Lord tells us to put on the whole armor of God. And so when we do not put on the whole armor of God, whose fault's that? It's our fault, isn't it? And so we need to be prepared for what God has before us. And preparation involves prayer. Preparation involves Bible reading. It involves our faith. And a lot of times our faith gets tested. And so we need to be ready. We need to be prepared for what comes our way. And I believe that's why the spies were sent out. But one thing we do want to see here, now this, if we go to the end of the chapter in verse 23, we see the 2 spies that come back and they're given the report to Joshua. In the last verse here in verse 24, it says this, "And they said unto Joshua, Truly the Lord hath delivered into our hands all the land, for all the inhabitants of the country do faint because of us." It doesn't matter that they went to view the land and hear that the people were faint and their hearts melted, because God already promised them the land. So it did not matter what report they brought back. And so a lot of times we wonder, why do we do things that we do when the Lord's already given us a promise? Doesn't matter of how, what we're thinking or whatever, what we go about to do. We just need to trust the Lord. And so what is the difference between the 12 spies and the 2 spies? Because no doubt the 12 spies, now Joshua and Caleb, of course, brought back the good report. So maybe we say the other 10, no doubt they saw Jericho. They saw the walls of Jericho. They might not have went inside the city and heard everything that these 2 spies did from Rahab, but they would have saw the land and everything around it. But when they come back, the reports were different, where the two spies says, hey, the Lord's given us this land. We can go. Where the 10, take away the Joshua and Caleb, said, no, it's everything the Lord said it was, but, we're as grasshoppers, there's big walls, there's giants, we cannot do it. So what was the difference between those 10 spies and then these 2 spies and Joshua and Caleb? Well, their perspective was different. Okay, let me give you the definition of perspective that I'm using. And it's a particular attitude towards or a way of regarding something, a point of view. Okay, they were all operating from a different point of view. I believe the 2 points of view were, the 10 were thinking of their own strength. They weren't thinking about, well, God's already given us this promise, where the 4 was thinking, hey, God's already promised us this, and we can do it. And that was the difference between the 2. It was their perspective. Let me ask you this question. How is your perspective on life? How do you view things? Do you view things that, well, I'm going to tackle this day that, you know what, it's going to be up to me, or do I want to tackle this day because, you know what, God is in control. Sometimes we maybe get up, something goes wrong, and it's like, oh, bother. I know how this day is going to be. It's just be one thing after another. And, you know, when we have an attitude like that and we carry it with us, it affects not only us, but affects other people that's around us as well, to start gathering that same attitude. You know, for some people, though, it's like, hey, this is the day the Lord has made. I'm going to rejoice and be glad in it. I'm going to face what the Lord allows to come to me this day. And why can someone say that? Because the Lord is in control. Okay, the Lord wants to grow our faith. He wants us to put our trust in Him. That's what He wants us to do. So we need to make sure we see everything that comes our way is, you know what, the Lord allows this to happen. I'm ready, I'm prepared, because my faith, my perspective is my faith is in the Lord. Okay, what is it the Lord would have me to do in this situation? What have I learned? What have I applied to my life to be allowed to face this person that is coming against me, or some kind of temptation is coming my way? What is it that the Lord has shown me to put in my life that I can put my faith and trust in Him to get through this? Okay, and so that's different perspectives that we have. One, you know what, I'm just going to trust the Lord in my journey, or I'm going to trust myself and let myself affect how I view everything, my attitude, my spirit in my life. Well, hopefully that made encouragement, something for you to think about today, something to meditate on, about just putting your faith and trust in the Lord each and every day, whatever comes your way. And you have a great day, my friend. Praying for you. Thanks for praying for me. And God bless you all.